Good evening, everybody. My name's Neil Turton. I'm a pastor at Long Grindon Baptist Church. And it's my pleasure during the course of this week to interview various members of our church about different experiences that they have had in their lives, in which they might have been tempted to ask the question, where is God in all of this? Well, my guest this evening is Colin White. He is a former professional rugby player who is now turned pastor and has recently moved into our village and joined our church. It's great to have you with us, Colin. Let me just ask you to start with, at what age did you actually start playing rugby?
Thanks very much, Neil, for having me. I started playing rugby when I was 8, so I was just a little tot almost, and so began playing at that age and played for many years after that.
So did you already at that age have big ambitions for where that might take you?
Yeah, I think when I was starting at such a young age, enjoyed it so much. People would ask me, where do you want to take it? What do you want to do with it? And my big ambition was to play professionally and then play for Scotland.
I guess that's the ambition a lot of their children have when they're starting out. Was there a particular point where you thought, actually, this could be a realistic ambition? I might actually make it?
Yeah, I think perhaps when I was 15 or 16, I was selected for Glasgow under 16s and then Glasgow under 18s, and then after that, selected for Scotland under 18s, and then made it into the under 19s and then under 21 team. At those points, was probably the key age that I thought, I could probably go somewhere with this. Yeah.
You did actually achieve your ambition to play for your country, which must have been a great honour, great experience. How old were you, and how did you feel when you got to that high point?
So I was 22 when I played for Scotland Sevens team, and it was amazing. We played in tournaments all over the world: Dubai, South Africa, Hong Kong, Wellington, New Zealand, and then San Diego, California, Twickenham, Murrayfield too. But those things, it was amazing just playing big stadiums in front of lots of people. It was really quite an amazing place to be. And yet at the same time, it was also quite a place where you thought, well, this is supposed to be the thing. This is supposed to be the thing which will bring full contentment, satisfaction in my life. And yet it really fell short in so many ways.
And why was that? I mean, if it didn't feel quite what you had expected, where did you find your fulfilment?
Well, I thought at the time, that rugby would be the thing which would really bring me that real fullness and bring me that contentment in my life. But as it turned out, that wasn't the case, and so I then started to turn to the party scene within professional rugby. So doing everything that everyone else was doing in that environment. But again, all of that just made me feel quite empty, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So what was it that changed for you in your life? What caused you to go in a different direction?
I think I was asking myself questions of, really, is this it? Is this really it? And at the time, I was dating an American girl who I'd met in San Diego when I was playing rugby there, and went to visit her in San Diego and went to a church service with her cousin. And in that message, in that service, I heard really the message of, if you're looking for contentment or fulfillment in the next phase of life, you'll never actually find it. Whether that's girlfriend or boyfriend or the next career, the next house, the next car, the next child, whatever it is, you'll never find contentment and satisfaction in those things. Only really when you understand that we've actually done wrong against God, that Jesus has come to forgive us of all the wrong that we've done, and that He would give us His peace, His satisfaction by His Spirit, His goodness in our lives, that would actually satisfy our souls rather than trying to chase everything else.
So did you find that peace in your soul as you turned to Christ? What difference did it make in your life as you turned to him?
Yeah, I found that the big thing which changed in my life was that previously I had been trying to pursue these things to try and fill me, whether it was relationships, whether it was rugby. Those things were the things which I was chasing after to try and fill my soul. But actually coming to know Jesus really changed that. He filled that void in my soul, that I could actually pursue these things from a different position. I could pursue these things being content in them, and being content in what God's done for me, and then actually looking to pursue them with all my heart. Not because I'm trying to chase them to pursue satisfaction, but I've actually got that contentment and satisfaction. Mm-hmm. Therefore, I can work hard in whatever I'm doing.
So you were still playing professional rugby at the time. I think you were in Italy. How did that change things as you went back to Italy and carried on doing what you were doing?
Yeah, so playing professional rugby there, it was hard because I didn't have there's no other Christians around me, and found that very difficult. Didn't have a church at the time, but eventually found a church and found that it was a great time to grow in understanding what it meant to walk as a Christian, not live as I used to live, to not just live for the things that I used to live for. But it did, in one way, put it in the right perspective that I would love Jesus more, and through that, his peace and satisfaction would allow me to pursue things in the right perspective, putting things in the right order.
Mm-hmm. And you've also ended up becoming a pastor of a church. What about that?
Yeah, I suppose really with my time in Italy, playing rugby in Italy, I went back there to serve with a church there, just because I had a heart for people that didn't know Jesus, that were just chasing everything, just as I was chasing everything, but never really found what they were looking for at the end of it. Ultimately, only Jesus gives us that. He says in the Gospels, he says, "Come to me, all those who are weak and heavy laden, and I will give you rest." And that really is the good news of the Gospel, that Jesus gives us rest for our soul. When we're trying to chase it and trying to find it in everything else, we never will. And that message really was the thing which inspired me to go into the ministry, to share the good news with others, firstly in Italy and now here in Long Island.
Mm-hmm. Great. And just finally, I guess there might be other people who are watching this who are still trying to achieve their lifelong ambition, or maybe they have achieved it, but like you, they're feeling, well, it hasn't quite lived up to my expectations. Where do I go from here? What advice would you give somebody in that situation?
I suppose it's putting things in the right order, isn't it? Just trying to say, what is the thing that I'm living for? What has the most importance in my life? And am I living for that thing? And the thing is, if you are living for that thing, whatever it is, it might be good things too, family and things like that. Those things will never in themselves bring you that sense of satisfaction that we all want. We all want that peace and that rest. But it's only really coming to know Jesus and coming to know him personally in our lives that will change how we then live our lives, and live our lives with such joy as well, because we don't need to be chasing everything else. We already have everything we need in him.
Great. Well, thanks very much, Colin. It's been great chatting to you across the kitchen table this evening. I'm sure if anybody wants to follow up any of this with you personally, they're free to do so. Just contact us via the church website, lcbc.org.uk. Thanks for that, and thanks for watching, everybody. Goodbye.